Welcome to Cowboys News TV, where we're about to unravel some intriguing NFL trade rumors swirling around the Dallas Cowboys. But hold on to your hats, folks, because before we dive in, let's sift through the hearsay and separate fact from fiction. First up, the buzz around a potential trade involving Najee Harris. Yes, you heard that right. Fansided sparked speculation with a proposal suggesting the Cowboys could snag the talented running back from the Pittsburgh Steelers. But before you start rearranging your fantasy team, let's clarify, there's no concrete evidence that Dallas is actively pursuing this deal. It's all just trade talk floating in the breeze. But let's not dismiss it entirely. Acquiring someone like Najee Harris could be a game-changer for the Cowboys' ground game, but is it worth the draft picks? That's where things get interesting. We'll break down the pros and cons, but we also want to hear from you, the fans. Cast your vote in the comments below with Y for yes or N for no on whether Dallas should pursue Harris. And just when you thought the trade rumors couldn't get any juicier, we're switching gears to tackle the Tee Higgins chatter. A former NFL executive allegedly claims the Cowboys have their sights set on the Bengals wide receiver. But before we get swept up in the excitement, let's approach this with a healthy dose of skepticism. The reported trade seems more like a tall tale than a realistic possibility. So, buckle up, Cowboys Nation. We're diving deep into the trade rumor mill, separating fact from fiction, and bringing you all the latest updates. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a beat. Your subscription means the world to us as we strive to hit our goal of 9,000 subscribers. Now, let's get into it. Today, we're diving into the latest trade rumors swirling around the Dallas Cowboys. Now, before we get too deep into it, let's clear something up. There's been a lot of hearsay and speculation going around about a potential trade involving Najee Harris, but let's set the record straight. This all started with a proposal from Fansided, suggesting a trade scenario where the Cowboys acquire Najee Harris from the Pittsburgh Steelers. However, there's no concrete evidence that the Cowboys are actively pursuing this trade. It's all just speculation and trade ideas floating around. So, what's the proposed deal? According to Fansided, the Cowboys would receive Najee Harris and a 6th-round pick next year, while the Steelers would get a 4th-round pick and a 7th-round pick from Dallas. Now, let's break it down. On one hand, acquiring a talent like Najee Harris could address the Cowboys' need for a reliable running back. Harris has a track record of consistently rushing for over 1,000 yards each season, although his yards per carry may not be stellar. Still, there's potential for Harris to thrive in a different offensive scheme, and he could provide a boost to Dallas' ground game. However, there are also concerns. Giving up valuable draft picks for a running back, even one as talented as Harris, might not be the wisest move for the Cowboys. With other areas of need on the roster, such as offensive line and defense, using draft capital to address those positions could be more beneficial in the long run. Now, we want to hear from you, the fans. Do you think the Cowboys should pursue a trade for Najee Harris? Cast your vote in the pinned comment below with Y for yes or N for no. We value your input, so make sure to let your voice be heard. Now, let's shift our focus to the upcoming NFL draft. For the Dallas Cowboys, this year's draft holds significant importance, especially considering the team's needs and recent departures. With Tony Pollard's departure to the Tennessee Titans, the Cowboys find themselves in dire need of a reliable running back. While Rico Dowdle is currently the top option on the depth chart, the absence of a standout running back is a glaring issue that must be addressed. Additionally, the departure of key offensive linemen, such as Tyron Smith and Tyler Biadasz, has left the Cowboys with notable gaps to fill in the trenches. The offensive line is undoubtedly a priority for Dallas in this year's draft, as solid protection for Dak Prescott is crucial for the team's success. Furthermore, the Cowboys lack depth at wide receiver beyond CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. Adding a legitimate number 2 or number 3 receiver to complement the existing talent is essential for maximizing the effectiveness of the passing game. On the defensive side of the ball, Micah Parsons could benefit from additional support to bolster the pass rush. Addressing these areas of need in the draft will be crucial for the Cowboys' success in the upcoming season. Looking back at the Cowboys' performance in last year's draft, it's evident that improvements are needed. While some selections showed promise, others failed to make a significant impact during their rookie seasons. Mozzie Smith, the first-round pick, struggled to make a notable contribution, recording just 1 sack and 3 tackles for loss. Similarly, tight end Luke Schoonmaker, selected in the second round, failed to make a significant impact in the passing game. However, there's still hope for players like DeMarvion Overshown, who missed the season due to injury, and Viliami Fehoko, who didn't see any playing time as a rookie. These players have the potential to make a more significant impact in their second season with the team. Overall, last year's draft class fell short of expectations, highlighting the importance of making more informed and impactful selections this year. As we look ahead to this year's draft, fantasy football enthusiasts may have their eyes on potential draft picks that could make an impact on their teams. One intriguing prospect is Trey Benson, a running back from Florida State. Benson's combination of size, speed, and versatility makes him an appealing option for teams in need of backfield depth. While he may not be a top-tier prospect, his potential to contribute as a runner and receiver could make him a valuable asset for fantasy owners. If the Cowboys were to select Benson in the later rounds of the draft, he could quickly become a sought-after player in fantasy leagues. Keep an eye on his progress leading up to the draft, as he could be a sleeper pick with significant upside. Now, we're delving into a rather intriguing rumor swirling around the NFL, involving none other than Tee Higgins and the Dallas Cowboys. But before we get carried away, let's dissect this claim and discern the truth from mere speculation. According to NFL Analysis Network, a former NFL executive has purportedly claimed that the Cowboys are eyeing a trade for Tee Higgins. The alleged quote implies that Jerry Jones, the Cowboys owner, is keen on making a splash, with Higgins as the potential target. Let's take a step back and examine the validity of this rumor. Firstly, the idea that Jerry Jones is solely driven by the desire to make a splash contradicts the Cowboys' recent team-building strategies. While Jones has a history of bold moves, they're typically calculated and strategic, not merely flashy for the sake of it. Secondly, the proposed asking price for Higgins would likely be exorbitant, potentially involving a first-round pick and more. The Bengals, aiming to compete, wouldn't easily part ways with one of their key players without substantial compensation. In essence, the notion of the Cowboys trading for Higgins seems implausible and lacks credibility. The reported rumor appears to be either misinformation or a fabrication, failing to align with the logical considerations of both teams involved. It's essential to approach such rumors with skepticism and critical thinking, especially when lacking substantial evidence. While trade speculation can be entertaining, distinguishing between credible reports and baseless rumors is crucial. As of now, the purported trade involving Tee Higgins and the Dallas Cowboys seems to fall into the latter category, a mere figment of speculation without merit. Stay tuned to Cowboys News TV for updates on all things Cowboys related. Remember, skepticism is key when it comes to rumors in the NFL. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest news and analysis. Your subscription is vital to us as we strive to reach our goal of 9,000 subscribers.